Ever wondered whenever you go on those e-tailing websites and you find that your Apple iPhone 6, the famous iPhone, is not available for the MRP of 52,500 rupees, but available for say 42,000 or 43,000? Well, if you're planning to buy a new iPhone in Delhi, you could end up with a fake that was assembled in a local market with parts sourced from China. Well, the crime branch of the Delhi police raided a trusted name in mobile phone stores, Akasaki, at Lotus Plaza in Karol Bagh. The cops seized around 34 fake iPhones and over 4,300 assembling material for iPhones, including spare parts, phone covers, holograms, and packaging material. What's interesting is that Akasaki is not only a retail store for mobile phones, but is also a supplier for large online portals like Flipkart and Amazon. According to a Mail Today investigation, Akasaki is not the only one selling fake iPhones. You could also find them in Old Lajpat Rai Market, Palika Bazaar and Nehru Place at hugely discounted prices. All right, we are joined in by Kamna Sharma, Mail Today correspondent, who actually got us this story in today's edition of Mail Today. Kamna, can you just quickly tell us what were the findings of this investigation?
So, the findings of this investigation were allocated on these fake iPhones which are being brought down into the market these days. And if you go to these e-portals like maybe Flipkart or Amazon or ShopClue, Snapdeal, so all of these, e-retail chains, you find iPhones for, say, like 32,000, 33,000, and there are certain old iPhones like iPhone 4S and stuff that you can find out for, like, say, 12,000 rupees. But that's when this is compared with the actual price, it's comparatively less. So in this entire case, we found out that, assembling of phones were being done. Since Apple has no official service center in India, so they don't really, support, like refurbishing of phones, and instead they only support replacements in India. Like you get a new phone if your phone's like jammed due to some issues. So assembling of phones, it is basically, being done in hubs of Palika Bazaar, and as we all know that Karol Bagh is one common spot for all of this. Mm-hmm. But then the old Lajpat Rai Market, people have their godowns and factories and, certain more areas where, all these activities are going on, like assembling of phones and changing of LCD screens. And then all these phones, once they are like put together and assembled, they are sent to these e-portals. Like on shopcruise.com, you can buy an iPhone 6 barely for like, I think, 26 or 27,000 rupees, which actually doesn't make sense. So
right.
This is basically fooling the customers and their trust. And I think this isn't really right. This is not what we expect from the e-commerce chains in India.
Absolutely. And that is why on many such brands, many brands have in fact come out, and if you go to their stores, you would actually see that they put out posters which say that if you have bought something from an e-tailing website, then we don't take ownership of that particular product. Most of the companies have actually done that.
Right.
Now, Kamna, one more thing that I wanted to know is that you spoke to Mr. B.P. Sharma, who's a police officer, the District Intelligence Unit, and he actually tells you that on raiding the store jointly with EIPR, first of all, what is EIPR?
So basically, EIPR is one of these, organizations in India which are, they are basically having a tie-up with all these big IT industries where cases for counterfeit are found, usually. Like, since there is a big market, that is obvious that, you will find fake copies of those products. So these people, they basically, keep a watch on any such activities. And they were basically reported about this issue because it's very vast on this whole online chain. Like there are a couple of more websites where you can, actually buy these fake phones in bulk, like for very cheap amounts. So that's not the point. EIPR, this organization is in a tie-up with Apple. And they keep a check on all these people who are involved into such activities where, fake phones are being vended into the market.
Now, EIPR, actually, for the benefit of our viewers, let me tell them that it stands for Enforcement of Intellectual Property Rights. So this is a company that, in collaboration with the police, actually found, Kamna, 28 iPhone 5s and iPhone 6 smartphones and over 4,300 such assembling material. Now, you know, what will be really interesting to know is that where are these people sourcing this raw material from? Is it from, you know, has it been smuggled from original iPhone factories?
So I'll tell you.
Or is this too fake?
These iPhones that you get in India are usually assembled. Like Apple actually assembles its models in China. China is like the official country where the iPhones are assembled. So what happens is this is a big vast circle, okay? It extends from USA to China to Africa. So these importers in India, they import all these, you know, holograms and packaging materials and...
No, that's what I want to know, Kamna. The thing that they import, is that real? I mean, I can understand that the assembly plant is locally done. But what about these products?
Only a few of them are real. And once they reach here in India, they are imitated and, you know, brought to a larger scale so that more and more phones can be assembled. This is what is being done. Okay,
Kamna Sharma, many thanks for getting us this investigative story early this morning. So, when you are planning to buy a cheap iPhone from an e-tailing website, do remember this particular story that we have actually got you this morning. And where all does this syndicate of fake manufacturers actually work? Well, it works in the United States, India, China, as well as many African countries. You want to read more about the fake iPhones? Delhi apparently has now gone on and become the hub. Catch today's edition of the Mail Today. It says, beware, your smartphone may be fake, particularly the iPhone.